I want to live with joy. I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. I want to know how to live well with my cancer. I want to know if what I can eat makes a difference, if I exercise, if it makes a difference.
I want to live well.
I want hope. I want to know how to gracefully live with change, live with possibilities, and be at peace with my reality.
We listened.
I want information about my cancer, my diagnosis, my treatment options. If there's help for me or financial resources available to me, I want to know what they are.
We would like to invite you to come visit with us after the presentation today to see how you can help us and help yourself. Thank you.
Good job, you guys. Good evening, everyone. My name is Al Kari, and I'm creator of LipSync. And unlike other presenters tonight, I'd like you to take out your smartphones and launch LipSync in your web browser and follow the conversation with us. Make comments about tonight if you can. First, let's talk about the social network. And this is a bit humorous. If you want to post something online, where do you go? Well, if you don't want anybody to see it, post it on Google+. But if you're at a bar and you're not a woman with a jealous boyfriend, check in on Foursquare. If it's something that you feel okay about your boss reading about it and it's boring, post it on LinkedIn. Otherwise, you have Facebook and Twitter. If you're addicted to likes, you gotta use Facebook. And that probably explains why Facebook has 161 million clicks every day, and Twitter comes in second. And I want to zoom in today a little bit about Twitter. Twitter recently announced that they have 500 million users. But in reality, if I sample this room, half of you probably don't use Twitter. And the reason is Twitter is hard to use. And more than a majority of Twitter users don't follow or have very few followers. You find a lot of pointless babble, a lot of spam, news and self-promotions, but there's a lot of value also in Twitter. How do you use it? Well, you create an account, you follow others, others hopefully will follow you back, you watch the tweets go, you say something, you wait, and wait for somebody to retweet you, or you retweet others. It's difficult to use. There was no way for people to find information until Chris Messina, who's not associated with Twitter, a year after Twitter was created, came up with an idea. Hey, how about we use hashtags? What about if we put that pound symbol at the beginning of a sentence? And this is how it works. If you tweeted something and you have 4 followers, only those 4 followers will see your tweet. But if you actually included that hashtag inside of your tweet, everybody following a hashtag, thousands, could be more, will actually see that tweet of yours. And this is how it spreads about. The problem is, did you know that Salesforce are hiring in Portland aggressively? The only way for you to find that on Twitter is if you follow hashtag DreamJob. This is where I thought about creating a local, easy-to-use social network as a community network. A community network will work something like this. You launch it, it knows where you are. So it'll immediately show the stuff that's right here around you on top. So you're able to see all these things that show you the discussions that are happening right around here. You can even create your own things. A sync will have the conversation inside of it, and you're able to see conversations by others. You're able to contribute. You're able to voice your opinion. And if it's something that you like following, you simply listen to it. A sync. What is this guy talking about, you might be wondering, huh? Well, according to at least one dictionary, a sync is like a hashtag. It's a data stream or a channel. And it could be called whatever you want it to be. You got to take care of it, though. Your sync will survive for 15 minutes if you don't post something in it. It'll be seen in 15 miles radius to everyone, including your mom. What you can do with it, you could form a local team. You can join a local band. Or you could use that to discuss your class in college, or communicate community events, marriages, weddings. Or you could socialize locally without compromising your identity at the gym or at a coffee shop. You could use it to alert others to dangers, to possibly speed traps, although we don't endorse driving and texting. Businesses can use it too. Business can use it at trade shows and conferences. Disney can show you their rides status. And my favorite, my kids' favorite, Costco can show you what samples they're offering right now. And the local government can show you what the road conditions are, can tell you about blockage and transportation updates. You could see even Amber Alerts and some traffic congestions. Not that bad, though. If you are thinking about posting something online on Twitter, consider something more local. Consider lip sync. Thank you, and may the sync be with you.
I'm Nancy, and I'd like you to come on a tour of digital images, images that are captured from reality with a camera or a scanner, images we've created with software like digital painting or 3D rendering, icons and user interfaces. I'm talking about the grid of pixels, but computers can also store visuals as vectors, lines and curves and points. Vectors are small files that can print big, so why are we relying on bitmaps? Because we want photorealism. When you talk about an image's quality, you need to be talking about real-world attributes like what the camera saw or what the artist created. Those could be wrecked. But when it's represented as a pixel grid, there are technical considerations that are image quality as well. Our grid of pixels, the number of pixels determines the file size. When we want files to be smaller, we turn to compression algorithms. You need to be aware that some image compression algorithms are lossy. They actually throw away image quality. We store in our file a color for each pixel. If the color number is 8-bit, it makes a small file, but we have a smaller range of colors. If in 24-bit color, we can have millions of colors, but the file gets bigger. So color depth and compression are the things that differ between the file formats. PNG is great for small pixel grids like icons. JPEG can make the smallest files, but it does use lossy compression. Now, people will say that an image has pixels per inch, but I say the PPI is really only in the output. You could take the same pixel grid and display it on different devices, and it'll occupy a different number of inches. So you can put a PPI number in your file, but it's going to be disregarded. So let's define resolution of an image as the number of pixels in the grid. High res means lots of detail, lots of pixels. When we're displaying an image, we sometimes find that the height and width proportions aren't the same in the image and the display. We've all seen the fails, the stretched images. Pillar boxing like this projector doing is or DVD letterboxing is better. If the proportions are right, but the total number of pixels is different, we're actually mapping a pixel grid of one size onto one of another, and that's resampling. Up for more pixels, down for fewer. So if we're going from higher res to lower res, we're simply discarding some of the detail. This can happen when an image is being displayed on a screen, or we might do it permanently to our file to make a smaller file. Resampling up from a lower res grid to a higher res, the algorithm isn't nearly as straightforward. Different software makes different guesses, but don't let them tell you that they can guess things that the camera never saw. Resampling doesn't always give you good results. If you throw away the detail that actually told the story, like on the sign or the PDF icon, that's a fail. If you're starting with very few pixels, it'll never resample up well. So if we're worried, we might make multiple pixel grids at different resolutions. App developers often make the same icon in a bunch of different sizes. Flickr wants me to offer folks multiple sizes so people can pick the smallest that'll work for them. Sharpening is something that happens in some resampling algorithms. It's an increase in local contrast, and if you overdo it, you get halos of color around edges. Our very littlest icons are going to need one-at-a-time pixel editing. So you start by defining a color that's halfway between your foreground color and your background color, and use that around the edges of things so they don't look jaggy. GUIs also have a lot of rectangles often, with panels and button backgrounds. And sometimes systems offer 9-patch scaling. You define a grid and scale the edges different from the middle. Now let's go old school and say our display device is actually paper. And you really don't always have to have 300 ppi these days. If you're doing page layout, remember that if you make an image twice as big in height, you've reduced the resolution by half. So in color, printing gets really hairy. We have RGB images. We could convert them straight to CMY, but printing is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black with detail on the black plate. Work with your print vendor. Don't try to do it yourself. So my magical pixel retour is hoping it took you away to a place where pixels live and that you learned more about resolution and sampling. I'm Nancy Worsley-McClure. Thanks.